Hi, it's Gadget UK here again. As you can see, this time looking at another one of these arcade sticks. This time for the, I think this was for the AES, sorry not the AES, well it might have been the AES and the CD. It came out around the time of the CD system, and I think that's what it was targeted at, but obviously it works on the AES and it'll work on an MVS as well. And as you can hear there, straight away, it's micro switched on the stick, really nice clicky feel there. I've been using this actually for a few weeks now. It works really well. It just needs a bit of a clean up. I've not done anything with it since I got it. And the start button, occasionally I'll press it just like that and it won't do anything. I could just press it again and then it'll be alright. So there is some dirt under there that needs cleaning. But all the buttons work fine apart from that start that I just had. Very randomly I'll just press it, it won't do anything. Whereas the select is dead responsive. So yeah, just needs a bit of strip down and clean, I think. And it needs a clean on the top, you know, with a bit of plastic cleaner and some of the cleaning out these grooves here. But one of the things I'll say off the bat with this, I'm really pleased with this. This is if you're thinking about getting an arcade stick and you're not so sure about the conditions some of them are in, because you know the official one, the one that's got a square base like this, or a rectangular base, I should say, they're quite large. That's all fine and well if you can get one that's in excellent condition, but many of them have got the logo worn off and they're scratched up like hell, whereas a lot of these ones aren't, and these are a bit cheaper. And what I like about this is, and it sounds silly, but you see the little recess there in the top? This is exactly what you end up doing, just putting your thumb on there, and it's much easier then to sort of, you know, to hold it on your knee like that and to play it this way. It's so easy to use. I imagine the larger stick would be a bit more, you know, you need a firm base or something to sit it on. You could sit it on your lap, I guess, but this is quite a nice stick to use. I thought, and initially actually it is a bit different, you know, if you're used to using the pad like I was, it takes a little bit getting used to the buttons. You know, some of the games I was really good at playing, as soon as I moved to this stick, actually I found it a bit harder because I'm having to sort of, you know, use different fingers for different buttons here, but it does work quite well actually. You get used to it very quickly. But yeah, I'm really pleased with this, and I think it was about £14 with about £4 shipping, so it works out just under 20 quid. Well worth looking to Japan on eBay for these, because you'll get these for around the £20 mark, whereas the larger sort of you know, rectangular base stick will set you back about 40 quidish for something that's in good condition really. And then you might get stung for import fees and things, whereas this, because it was under 20 quid, it's there's no tax or anything on it, so that's worked out really well. Anyway, so to get this apart, yeah, there's a whole bunch here. You've got two big screws there on the bottom of the base of the stick, so those will need to come out, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 other screws, so we'll get all those out now. So once you've got those screws out, the base just comes off really easily there. Really nice joystick assembly there. You can see, you know, you've got proper separate dedicated micro switches there. I'm not going to do anything to those at all, because the stick is working really well at the moment. It's just the buttons, so I don't see any sense in taking this off. You can see, you know, hopefully you can see there that you've got, you know, separate solid, you know, micro switch there. These are industry standard, I think. The levers might vary because they're quite short, I think, on these sticks, you know, but you could always, if you've got a replacement micro switch for one of these, yeah, I forget what size it is, but they're a standard size. You'll see what I mean if you look on eBay. Versus, you know, when you took one off, you should be able to measure it up and get a replacement. If you get a replacement, you might need to cut down the bar there, or maybe take the bars out of this micro switch and put them into the other one. That's something you could probably do with a bit of effort. So we'll get these two screws out of the board here and just have a look at the board underneath. So there we go, that's the screws out of the way now, and you can see these are soldered on here, so you're restrictive unless you start removing the little clip, you know, sliding off these little tab things here. You're going to be restricted, but yeah, there's some big button pads for the main A, B, C, D. They're really large, so I'll just clean the underneath of those with a cotton bud with a bit of isopropyl. Clean the PCB with a bit of isopropyl, just gently here. You don't want to rub too much of the carbon off, just a tiny amount surface. To even the surface really more than anything. And you can see there's a couple of really tiny ones here for the start and select. I'm amazed at how small those are. But yeah, those need cleaning up. Certainly the start one does. And the surface is leveling a little bit. It may well be where they join on here that's the issue. I don't know, it looks pretty clean to me, but that's all I'm going to do is just clean those up, reassemble it and test it. since I'm in danger here of this being a really short video, I'll just show you the cleaning process. I've covered it before, but yeah, just a gentle rub with a tiny bit of isopropyl. You can see you just get a tiny little black mark there. If you're getting any more than sort of that level, you're rubbing too much. And sometimes it's worth just going around the outside here as well, because the bits of dirt that settle on the board work their way into the pad here, and that's ultimately, even though you've cleaned it and you reassemble it again, those particles go straight back in. So it is worth, you know, spending a bit of time just cleaning up the rubber outer part of it as well, really, just to make sure. Anyway, you get the gist. So with all the pad contacts clean themselves on the rubber bits, just do the same on here, and it's, like I say, just either with a bit of isopropyl or a bit of just a wet cotton bud, just gently go over these areas like this. That's all you need to do. And I sometimes extend this actually to the whole area around, just to get any particles off as well whilst I'm at it, and then usually just finally go over it at the final run with just a paper towel, just to make sure it's all dry, and you know, just go over each of the contacts. You shouldn't really get anything off here. These should be left intact, really. You know, you shouldn't be pulling anything off, and it probably is just a tiny little bit. But if you don't do this, you know, you've got a button problem, it'll just haunt you. You'll just keep getting the same problem with the same blooming button. That's it. That's all that's needed. So before I reassemble, I'll point out just a couple of obvious things really. You've got a 100 microfarad cap there, 10 volt. Yeah, it might be worth swapping that out on one of these old units. And what looks like standard 74 logic there, 74, oops, sorry, you can't just see it. Standard 74 logic, 74HC07. So off the top of my head, I'm not sure what that is. It's going to be a standard, you know, something basic like I don't know, a NOT gate or something like that probably. I don't think it is, because an 07 is not what that is. I know it's not. I think it's an is it an 02 or something? I can't remember off the top of my head actually. You've got a zero link resistor there. You can see that. So not sure what that is. J4. That's interesting. A couple of resistors. And then these here, these three jumpers, they look like sort of little miniature fuses. I'm not really sure. It does say J1, J2, J3. No idea what the hell those would be used for in this, because you've only got one 5 volt line, so you could expect maybe there might be a fuse somewhere for the power, but there clearly isn't. You know, you've just got a couple of links, 4 jumper links, and 3 of them, and these quite large looking packages here. So no idea. But anyway, if you get a fault with one of these where it's dead, you want to check some of these components out around here, certainly these jumper links, just to make sure they're not open circuit. But anyway, now that's all cleaned, I'll just reassemble it. There you go, that's solved my problem with the start button. It's working really well now, and as you can see, it's looking super clean. Thanks for watching, I'll see you soon.